Hey guys, I know this is a popular vacation week, and so, and I also know you'd probably rather be doing Xbox and some other things instead of listening to me yap at you. But I want to talk about a few things that I think might be on your mind right now as you kind of are getting prepared for your freshman year. First of all, as Mr. Bosch said, my name is Miss Sample, and I am a Mercy graduate. I went to Bellarmine, played basketball for Bellarmine. Then I went back to Mercy, coached and taught there for many years, and then became principal my last 6 years there. So I came to St. X a couple years ago because my sons were coming here and I wanted to be a part of this experience with them. So I have a junior and an incoming freshman with you guys. So anyway, I'm super excited. Hopefully I'll see you guys at a lot of the extracurricular things, whether it's esports or debate club or basketball games or football games, whatever. And as he said as well, our goal is, a question I get every day is, will we be on campus next year or in the fall? And we want to be. And so we're going to do everything we can to get this campus ready and kind of safe for you guys to be here. I meet with the principals at the other Catholic high schools and our superintendent regularly, and we're all in the same boat. So it's not something like this school has a good game plan and this school doesn't. We are all in the same boat. We have to kind of wait day by day and just read the reports that come out from the CDC and those types of things. But we want you guys on campus as soon as possible, practicing and just all that kind of stuff. So a couple other things that I want to talk about that I think are might be on the minds of a freshman as you're kind of thinking about starting in August. Just so you know, we have a freshman orientation in August, and it's really, it's very, very helpful. It will allay a lot of your fears that you have. I think it's going to be on like August 12th and the 13th. So what we do is on the 12th, we bring you guys in for about a half day, and we show you how to open your lockers. We show you where your locker is. We show you how to get to your classes. We get you your iPad. We go over like school rules that we kind of just want to refresh you a little bit on. We take your photo for your ID. And then we have something called St. X 101, and that's where we really, we will kind of start that day. It's where we build in the tenets that make St. X so, that makes our message, or excuse me, our missions so unique. And those are compassion, humility, simplicity, trust, and zeal. And you'll memorize those before you leave here, I guarantee you. So on those days, we'll also try to show you what other freshmen will be in your lunch period. Because that first day at lunch can be really scary if you just walk in there and it's a sea of people and you just don't recognize anybody. So we try to make sure you've met some people so you can kind of hook up with them. And I know a lot of you are coming with friends from grade school, but some of you aren't. So we try to take care of you either way. And we encourage you, if you see someone hanging out there and solo, grab them and tell them to join you. We try to make sure you have a friendly face when it comes to lunch, but we also want to talk to you about the stress of being a high school student, kind of how to balance your life, balance all of your extracurriculars, those types of things, help you organize a little bit. I know some of you were born organizers, but others are not. So, and we had to clean out all the lockers for every student, so over 1,200 lockers. And so I know that the vast majority of high school young men are far from organized. So, so that's one thing. And then I guess for me, the most important piece is that on like the 13th, we have a day where it is just school for the freshmen. So seniors, juniors, and sophomores stay home. You guys come in like it's a regular school day, and we run through a school day just for you, okay? So you don't have like upperclassmen in the way and all that kind of stuff. It'll help you kind of figure out like the fastest ways to get to your classrooms and those types of things. So a lot of the freshman fears that that students have coming in is we have this crazy schedule where each day the letters are all kind of mixed up and stuff, and I promise you will figure it out. So we will encourage you to make the home screen on your iPad the schedule. Let me just tell you this, my son's a junior, and if he can figure it out, anybody can figure it out. So you will be just fine. So we'll make sure, and teachers will be out in the hallways pointing directions to go. We also, for the first few weeks of school, we like to give you the freedom to be late to class if you're a few minutes late, or because you're still figuring things out. So it's not like you immediately go to jug and the teachers are immediately, I mean, we really work with freshmen for the first few weeks of school. And if you need us to work with you longer, we'll work with you longer, okay? But generally, most people kind of pick it up by then. So we do only have 4 minutes between classes, which doesn't sound like much, but it is enough to get from one place to the next. And a lot of times what our guys will do is they'll drop their books off in class and just say, can I go to the restroom? And the teacher's like, yeah, that's fine. So I know sometimes shadows will ask me, well, when are we supposed to use the restroom? And it's like, we'll work with you there. And we've got lunch period, and teachers let you go during class and things like that. And I guess the most important thing for me to make sure you understand is those first few weeks of school, we've got your back. Okay, so I know I hear a lot of like horror stories where students will say, I heard that I'm going to have like 5 hours of homework every night and those types of things. And those are just like high school rumors to scare you. So we work with you, okay? Whatever level you're in grade-wise, like your homework is appropriate for that. So it's not like every student goes home with hours and hours of homework. Now we have some students that choose to take 5 and 6 AP classes, and some of you may do that. And yeah, there's a workload with that. But for the most part, homework is very reasonable. Our teachers are, and we're getting better with our teachers at saying, instead of doing 20 problems tonight, how about he just does 10 and still gets the same thing across? So we're working with teachers a lot on that. So you'll see some really good improvement in some of those areas, okay? Schoology. I know a lot of you, some of you may have used Schoology in grade school. I know probably a lot of you use Google Classroom or Moodle or some of those different programs. Next year, we are going to Schoology. So if you know of any SaintX friends this year, they may have complained about every teacher using something different, and that was the case. But next year, we're going to one platform, so every teacher will use Schoology. You will log into Schoology, and all of your classes will be on one side, and you'll be good to go, okay? So, and we'll train you guys on that if you're not familiar with Schoology. I mean, it's easy to pick up on. You'll be fine. We're going to be training our teachers this summer on that and all that kind of stuff. Books and lists of our teacher supply lists. A lot of times students want to know, like, well, how do I know what supplies I need for class? In high school, we don't tell you what you need. You organize yourself however you want to organize yourself, okay? So if you're a binder person, you're a binder person. If you're a folder person, or if you're both, whatever. We have some students that have one of those big like zip around binders and they'll put everything in there. You're more than welcome to do that. A few teachers might ask you to have like a goofy stuff that you would have anyway, like maybe a highlighter or note cards or things like that. But don't worry about going to like Target or anything and having to buy like $100 worth of supplies. Whatever you need to be organized, that's what you get, okay? And then with book sales, you guys are really in a great time right now, because when Mr. Bosch and I were in school, our parents were paying like $500 and $600 for our high school books. Well, now, and especially just in the last 4 to 5 years, most textbooks are online. So your parents, some of your parents will get away with spending less than $100 on all of your books. And so what we do is there'll be a couple, like I think maybe some freshmen, we might still have a hardback like health and PE book or something like that that you might have to buy, and we'll send all this to you in an email. But others, your teacher will say, okay, I need you to purchase this app, and you can do that. Okay, so I don't know if your parents want to get you like an Apple gift card, or if they trust you and they'll put their credit card on your Apple account. So it's kind of between you and your parents, but we give you plenty of time to figure that out, and your teachers will work with you. Okay. PE class is a big question that I get a lot from, well, generally it's mostly parents calling me at the beginning of the school year because their son has come home and said that he's in PE class with the football team. So, and that's not, it might feel that way, but that's not the case at all. So, and what I mean by that is a student will want their parent to think that, oh my gosh, I'm this tiny person and I'm surrounded by all these huge athletes and they just throw me around. And that is so far from the case. And Mr. Bosch can tell you. And then actually when you guys are in lunch, you'll peek into the gym and watch some of the PE classes, and it's, you know, dodgeball and it's just lots of cool stuff. Okay, so and I know for some of you you're like, PE's fun, I look forward to it, but for others it can be a little angsty. So I just kind of want to make sure you know that there's a wide range of athletes and non-athletes in our PE classes. Okay, so no worries there, you'll get through it. And it's just one of those rites of passage, I guess, for high school that you have to get through. So, and you'll go 1 week into the gym for PE, and then you'll have 1 week in the classroom. So, doing health. And so that's a nice kind of back and forth. It also gives you a week to kind of get your PE uniform washed, if you even care to do that. So, but you'll have a PE locker, and so we'll take care of you with all that kind of stuff. Summer reading. This is, again, you guys are coming at a great year because we have decided this summer to let students read whatever they want. We usually have a really cool summer reading program anyway, where you have tons of choices that you can select from. But this summer we're like, gosh, these kids are coming out of a pandemic. I mean, they missed the end of their 8th grade year. Our St. X students didn't even get to finish their year together. So for us, it was, why make this complicated and why add more stress to their life? So summer reading, we have 2 great librarians, Miss Metcalf and Miss Jarbo. They are fantastic and they're so creative, and they have the best books in our library. So if you're a reader, you will be in heaven. And you'll also see, I'm in my office right now, so I'm pointing that way, but you'll also see the construction that's happening for our new media center that's going to operate like a learning commons that they have in colleges, where there's like collaborative spaces and some classrooms in there and some really cool things. So you guys will get to, I know the seniors last year were really disappointed because they wouldn't get to use it, but you guys will definitely get to utilize it. But if you're curious about summer reading, it is voluntary, which I know some of you are just like, okay, I'm out. But I do want you to please go to our website and look at the academic, or look at the, go to academics, and you'll see a link for summer reading, and we kind of explain to you what we're doing. It also gives you guys the opportunity to, there's some incentives. So as you read this summer, there's a way to track that, and then we'll offer some incentives for you and those types of things. So please check that out. And this might be the only summer where you really get to do whatever you want with summer reading, okay? So I encourage you to take advantage of it. And also, if you just want some tips on some good books, I mean, look on our faculty directory page. Miss Metcalf and Miss Jarbo, they know it all. I mean, they are pretty awesome with all of the literature that our guys like to read, and they make sure the library has it. We do have a really cool graphic novel collection that they've started the last couple years that, I mean, are just super popular. So anyway, so you can check that out. Let's see. Oh, tell your parents, please. And I know some of you might be wondering this as well. Today we sent out the letters for the math and science placements. You guys remember the test that you had to log in and take. Some of you didn't and some of you did. But those of you who took it, actually everyone will get a math and science placement. What we've done is we've kind of looked at the results and we've adjusted you accordingly. So some of you, most of you are either likely left in the same level or you were moved up a level, okay? And that letter will explain it. But those went out today, so look for those in the mail tomorrow or the next day. And then if you have any questions, Mr. White's information will be on there, and Mom can call, Dad can call, or whomever can call and talk to him if you guys think that maybe a different placement is better, okay? Being Catholic. I know a lot of our students are Catholic, but we have a 20% of our population who are not Catholic. So Sometimes that can be intimidating because people don't know if they're welcome in a Catholic school, and absolutely, we have a chunk of our teachers who aren't Catholic. So while we live the Catholic mission and we live the Catholic faith, if you are not Catholic, you will be just fine, because our goal is just to kind of um, is to share that kind of spirituality with whatever religion you are. And if you're still struggling like with a religion, then that's what high school's about. It's about that journey, and that's what our theology teachers really try to do. It's not just, hey, here's what you have to do to be Catholic. It's, hey, let's look at this and let's really think about it from every direction and every perspective, and then kind of try to relate that to your life, and kind of let you build on that as you go, because your entire life is a spiritual journey. Mr. Bosch, I think I'm already like way over into the boring category, but I'm trying to think. Do you have any questions for me yet?
I'm gonna add to that we had over 11 different religions represented in our freshman class this past school year.
Yeah.
So like you said, you do not have to be Catholic, and there is a higher being, and that's a big part of it. But like I said, it's 11 different ones, and that's huge, especially here too.
Right. Absolutely. Oh, I know something I can talk about. Let me tell you one of the major mistakes that freshmen can make coming into high school, and we see it every year, and that is copying work. So we try to help freshmen with this when we start the school year, but also as we kind of continue. You are going to be faced with friends who are going to say, hey, I didn't have time to do my math homework. Can I see yours? And so that's the kind of stuff that, and teachers will notice that right off the bat, and they'll talk to you about it and help you understand that that's not the best thing to do. But I think just something for you to kind of get yourself prepared for is being asked that question, because I know if as a freshman I would be like, okay, because I would be afraid to say no, because I wouldn't want to be seen as whatever. But that's just something that we really will push with you guys and encourage you to be strong, and tell people to do their own work and those types of things. It's not a huge problem, but it is something that coming out of 8th grade, I think you might have done it a few times, maybe not. I don't want to assume. But just kind of know that our teachers really look out for that stuff. And especially with iPads and technology, it's really difficult to, they want to see what you think, not, the same answers as everyone else. So they try to leave stuff open-ended and things like that. So that would be one thing that we try to work with our freshmen on. So I'll just give you a hint about that before you get started. And that's all high schools struggle with that. So any questions, Mr. Bosch, yet?
We have not had any questions yet, which is surprising. Usually we get all kinds of questions out of this group.
Well, it's because they're on the beach. Social distancing on the beach somewhere. I'm trying to think of, I'm trying to go over all the common freshman stuff, but well, I tell you what, let me tell you a little bit about our faculty. And I know this sounds boring, but I just want you to know the school you're coming to, okay? Our teachers are awesome. They are the best people. They really want the best for you. And I know there might be this mystique that we do have some coaches who are teachers too. And I know there's that, if some of your dads went to St. X, they might say, well, back when I was at St. X, the teachers just ripped us. And so we don't, that's not how St. X is. Teachers are going to talk to you with dignity and respect, and try to help you see the right way to do things. But I know when the brothers ran the show back in the day, they, right, Nick, they were, the brothers could definitely have some discipline, but we just have the most amazing teachers, and we're all a big family. Like as a faculty, we are always trying to say, well, what's working with this kid that I can try with this student. And so a lot of times teachers will have meetings just on a student a lot of the time, because we want to make sure what's working with one teacher, we can make that work with all the others. Okay, so lunch period is 45 minutes, which is way too long. So, but that's what we have. So it's enough time to eat, socialize, and do some homework. Okay. So you have plenty of time to do that. I missed the other question. What was it?
We got one that asked if we're gonna meet any other teachers on these Zoom calls. And yes, it'll as we move on through departments, you'll get to meet teachers through that.
Yeah.
And we'll usually aim at teachers that teach our freshmen in those as well. And that'll be kind of as we progress on throughout that.
And we've really have so many amazing teachers with our freshmen because we want you to be prepared and we want you to just to kind of hit the ground running with the best people in the building. And so so you'll have that physical information for sports. I'm hopeful that you received an email about that on I think the 6th or 5th about sports physicals. You can mail that to us, or if you want to drop it off on campus, there's a drop box. It's kind of inside our construction area, but Nick, what's the best way for me to tell them how do they get there?
So what you would get in there, if you all shadowed, it's kind of in the same area where you got dropped off for the shadow. Y'all came through those glass doors to go shadow. Well, with the new library coming, if you pass that entrance, that would bring you underneath the catwalk and turn in the next right in our faculty lot. You'll be able to drive through there and right up to that drop box. So for all of you all that shadowed, it's literally right there from where you got dropped off at your shadow day. So if that's a good way. This week we're also doing book pickups until 3 o'clock. I think tomorrow's the last day, from 10 to 3 for our guys that left their stuff. So I had a couple families that dropped off that just came in, dropped off their forms during that too as well. Just drove through campus and dropped it off. But yeah, mail it in, or like you said, come drop it off is the best way to do it too.
Absolutely. Michael, I will get you, I will forward that email to you as soon as I get off of here, okay? So you have that, and then I'm sure you can link to it on the website, but I'm not exactly sure, but I will send that to you as soon as we get off here, okay?
I will send the link to the group chat right now.
Oh, perfect, even better. All right, and then study skills, guys. Study skills, yeah, that was canceled. We were kind of waiting to see if the building would open up later in the summer, so we might be able to reintroduce that. Now we might have to look at an online version of that. So we were going to kind of see if there was any interest in it. So we were going to send something out to freshmen and see if there was a level of interest in still doing some kind of online. You guys have to be sick of Zoom meetings and all that other junk that you had to do all through 8th grade to finish, but it might be the only way we can do it right now. So I will make sure that we get that out to you guys to make sure you know if we're going to do it at study skills. And Coach Schweitzer does that study skills class, and if you've ever met him, he's crazy, but we love him. So he's awesome. So you'll have a lot of fun, and he will tell you everything there is about the school. And his freshman football team, who are undefeated year after year after year. So he likes to tell you about that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Guys, we do have what's called required studies. So if you start school and you get behind in academics and stuff, we can set you up to have like a place to do your homework after school and places like that. We have lots of things in place. If you start to get behind in your classes and you start to struggle, we can get teachers are, first of all, our teachers are here morning and afternoon. They'll see you anytime. If you want to work, we can find you a tutor on campus. We have that after school study area. That counselors are awesome. So we don't let you fall through the cracks. If you saw what we had to do to drag some of these some of our students across the finish line with online school recently, you'd know that we are in this for you. So we won't let you down. Number of freshmen registered.
So that's a number. We're kind of working through that right now. you know, guys, with everything that's gone on as far as that and COVID and everything. So we're working through it. We're working with families. I can't really give you a round figure right now. You are still going to be a large class. So, you know, don't underestimate that. But right now, the numbers, we're like I said, we're still working with families, and we're going to get to the finish line. So y'all got the best classmates around. You know, make
Yeah.
2024 special.
It's not going to be like you guys aren't going to be some tiny class coming in. You are a classic St. X freshman incoming class. So we'll be ready for you. Yeah. Any other questions?
Might got any more questions? Those are good questions, guys. Keep them coming. Anything y'all would like to ask? And don't forget, this will be recorded, so this will be put on. So this will be on our Class of 2024 page after this.
Uniforms. We are not, if you have like an older sibling or someone who you know has been here at St. X, there was kind of some talk last year that we were going to make students go to a St. X pullover that you had to purchase and stuff. That is not going to happen. So our uniform will be the same as it was last year. So no changes there. So if a parent says, well, are we supposed to buy those St. X pullovers? The answer is no. It's just follow what's in the handbook and you'll be good to go. Okay. Dress code. Yes. I'm used to Mercy where I'm like, your skirt has to be 3 inches. Nick, you take this one, please.
You want me to take dress code?
Dress code, yeah.
Okay, so dress code, it's as if, you know, it's a shirt, button-up shirt and tie. It can be a short sleeve shirt, but it's got to be a collared shirt. Dress shoes, Sperry's are allowed. Dress pants, khakis. You know, we've got guys that wear different ones, seersucker pants. We see a lot of different colors in the pants, but just your typical dress pants. Khakis will work too, and there's no sock requirement. So if you're wearing athletic socks, we're not going to check that. But no tennis shoes. It will be either Sperry's or you know, dress shoes as well, and a shirt, a nice button-down shirt too as well. We do have spirit days where you'll be told, you know, we'll wear spirit days throughout the year as well. And then, you know, but for the most part, we're in our shirt and tie every day. Y'all have Tiger Blast, and we'll get to get out there, and that won't be dress code, but yeah, shirt and tie every day.
Yeah, we're going to do one of the things that I just feel like we need more dress down days. And so I was kind of surprised, I guess, coming from an all-girls school where we had them all the time, and then St. X rarely ever had one. So we will have more of those next year, whether it's just a St. X t-shirt with some jeans, that kind of thing. So I just think sometimes we got to take a break from the ties. So yeah. There was a question about the physicals and immunizations or physical forms. Every incoming freshman has to have a physical, whether you play sports or not. And those forms can be found on our website. We also just use the KHSAA forms. That way, if you're playing a sport, it's kind of takes care of itself. So, but yes, and you have to have your immunizations up to date. We are aware that, you know, doctor's offices are seeing patients now, so we don't anticipate people not being able to get in, but if you come across any problems, just let us know and we'll do what we can to work with you.
I had a question that asked if there's a time that they have to wear a blazer or a jacket. So yes, as incoming freshmen, for picture day, we will ask you to wear one, but we also encourage, you know, we'll have a bunch that young men have left behind at dances, and you wouldn't believe our closet how many dress codes we have. So we'll have those available for you as well. As far as a school day goes, no, there will be no day that they have to wear a blazer or jacket to. For our pictures for athletic events, they'll do headshots for athletics. They will wear a jacket for the headshots for athletics too. We also have some clubs, the St. Joseph Arimathea Society, who does burials. They'll wear jackets to that. So as far as a normal school day, no, there's no jacket you'll have to wear, but for events or clubs that they participate in, they could have one, and dances too as well.
And again, we have tons. So we generally, like on picture day, we'll just take them all up there. That way guys can just put one on, get their picture taken, and put it back on the rack. So yeah, we've got you covered if you don't have one. So
I had a question about pullovers too. Yeah, pullovers are going to be fine. They're half zip pullovers. And we've got guys that'll wear it on days like today. It'll be hot 100 degrees outside and they'll always have it on. The main rule with that too is it's a half zip and you've got to at least be able to show that you have a tie on. Can't zip it up all the way and just walk around like you have no tie on. So that
it's
is
a
the
good
rule
trick.
with the pullover.
We have with the pullovers, guys, they can't be like sports teams or things like that. They need to be sweater material, or our guys will wear those Patagonia ones and just kind of fleece pullovers and those types of things. And we do have some in the campus store if you just feel better about doing that. But yeah, we're pretty lenient on that, but they just can't be like windbreakers and things like that. So.
I got any more questions?
I think we're good. We're good, or I bored them to death. So it's one or the other. Guys, I'll just kind of close by just saying that I love this place, and everybody here does, and the brotherhood. And I know I'm saying this as a woman, so I get how odd that might be, but the brotherhood here it's something that will be with you forever. And when I see, like when I saw these seniors, even with our graduation that was out in the parking lot, when you see them come together and after 4 years, it is just amazing. And these are friends you're going to have the rest of your life. And I can't wait for you to experience that. We don't do the house system here. I know some schools will do the house system, but in my opinion, we're all one house. Like, I don't want divided houses in our one house. This is who we are, and we're one brotherhood. So that's really important to me for everyone to know. And I guess the last thing is just please know that everyone is here to help you. And if you remember that, you won't stress so much, okay? So any of those scary images you have of high school, of being yelled at all the time and all those things, it's not the reality. So we'll take care of you. Okay? Okay, I'm finished.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Sample. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. It's shorter than usual. We'll get this posted too to the class of 2024 page. Also, if you all have not set up your class email, I encourage you to do so. And if you don't have access to that, feel free to reach out to Mr. White or myself, and we'll be able to get you that information. So if you haven't yet, do that, get that set up, and we'll get rocking and rolling.
Also, the last thing, we will be doing lots of parent communication on Mondays and things like that. So just tell your parents to kind of be on the lookout for that. We'll try to make sure we get through to everyone's email address, but sometimes those bounce back. But we'll get to you. And please make sure you remind someone at home that your math and science placements were mailed today. Okay, so that's it. Go back to Xbox or PlayStation or whatever it is you're doing. So see you guys.
All right, thanks guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.